Good morning, friends. This early morning session is dedicated to everyone, particularly to the senior classes who are, to deliberate certain, thoughts and ideas on certain points. See, today we are going to talk on a very important and a burning topic consumerism. Consumerism is increasing day by day. Now, what is happening? Consumerism is increasing day by day. Luxury of yesterday have become necessities of today. As the result is that we want more and more, and as a result, we get satisfied. We become dissatisfied when we don't get what we want. So, the only simple solution to this problem is to control our needs. Friends, once Gandhiji said that the world is having sufficiency to man's needs, but not to man's greed. Gandhiji once quoted, "There is sufficiency to man's needs in this world, but not to man's greed." Our basic requirements can be fulfilled anytime in this world, and the basic requirements of our life are food, shelter and clothes. These three basic necessities of every human's life can be fulfilled at any point of time in our world. The world is fully sufficient for the need of the human being, but not for the greed of the human being. The modern man has, however, become slave to a requirement, to needs, and it is rightly said, necessities are the mother of invention. The more gadgets we are inventing, the more our necessities go on increasing. So what we are going to analyze the fact that we are becoming slave to the new gadgets, and we are accumulating materialistic possessions day by day. Our hunger for acquiring more and more materialistic, comforts, luxuries, has made us slave to, machines and gadgets. And we, often become dissatisfied and disgusted when we don't get what we want. So, what is the basic reason for the increasing dissatisfaction among the modern man? The need of acquiring and accumulating materialistic possessions has really made man restless. There is no peace and tranquility in the world. Everyone is running after, you know the rat race and the cutthroat competition. This rat race and cutthroat competition has made man restless. Every one of us is now governed by the ever increasing necessities of life. Today, if someone has one car, tomorrow he desires to have two car. Today, if he is having middle range car, Maruti car, tomorrow he wants the costliest car of the world. And in an attempt to possess that very luxury, man becomes restless, man gets corrupted, man starts doing, all that which is not expected from that. So the restlessness and lack of tranquility and peace has been the result of human needs and ever increasing, desire for acquiring luxuries of life. Yesterday's luxuries have become today's necessities. Can you imagine life without a washing machine, a cell phone and a computer? No, not at all. We can't really imagine life without a washing machine, a computer, even a car. In the metropolitan cities, if you are not having your own communication, if you are not having your own bike, or motor car, or if you are not having your own beautiful car, you cannot really reach the office in time because of the traffic congestion. So the fact is that at one point, whatever were the luxuries of life have now become the necessities of life. At one time, people considered car as a luxury of life. Nowadays, it has become a necessities of life, because in the pandemic, during the long lockdown, the communication was completely halt, and at a halt. There were no trains running, no cars, no private vehicles were running, no private communication was there. So the commuters, the city commuters, had no other option other than having their individual bike and car. So they, one time people always called that cars and our private vehicles were luxuries of life. Now they have become necessities of life. One time computer and internets were just limited for a human being, but now they have become an essential part of. See, in this digital world, can we really do our work without a computer? Most of the youngsters, most of the corporate employees are now working from their home with the help of laptop and desktop and the computer and net. So internet, once which was considered as a limited necessity, has now become a general necessity. Everyone wants to have internet connection, everybody wants to have digital communication, because digitization has really left behind us and completely governed by machines and gadgets. We can't really imagine life without these computers and gadgets. Therefore, I can just say that our ever increasing consumerism has also put us into trouble. And the trouble is that we are not able to limit our necessities. And as a result, we want more and more. And in attempt to accumulate, more luxuries of life, we start, falling into the rat race and cutthroat competition, which has really ruined our peace of mind and has, you know, completely devoured the tranquility of life. And we have lost touch with the spirituality of life, and we are more like a slave to machines than a human being. And that's the result why we need to undergo an introspection and analyze that to what extent we are going to allow ourselves to become the victim of fast growing world. Let us have a balance between the ever increasing need of mankind and the luxuries and the minimum needs, because it is rightly said that the world can feed us to our needs but cannot feed us to our greed. We can't really be fed up for our greed. Our greed is ever increasing, and that is the only reason for our dissatisfaction, discontentment, and restlessness. And therefore, it is high time we must understand the need to control our needs so that there could be a balance between the development and peace of mind, tranquility of life. The spiritual touch of life is very much disappearing from the modern world. Whatever may be the problem, there is only one solution, that let us try to control our needs and let us understand that our luxuries of life, which must be differentiated from our needs. Luxuries, which are the necessities of life, sometimes can be differentiated from the real needs. Then only, unless and until we make a differentiation of what is really needed for our survival and what are really the luxuries of life, unless and until we make a balance of the two, the differentiation from the luxuries to the necessities of life, we cannot really control our needs. And unless we control our needs, it is very probable that we will fall into the rat race and cutthroat competition, and we will never have the real essence, the essence of life, and we will not be able to enjoy life to the fullest. We will ever be dissatisfied and discontented, and we will fall into ill health, because the biggest cause of the mental illness is dissatisfaction, hunger for luxuries, and discontentment with life. And therefore we must develop a balance between the needs and the greed. Greed must be avoided. Greed of life has no end. There is an end to needs that can be minimized, and once you minimize your need, life will be meaningful, life will be really peaceful, there will be tranquility of life, there will be peace of life, and you will ever enjoy the essence of life, the beauty of life, and you will really live a worthy life, and you will really acknowledge the importance of living with values, living with certainty, and living with aim and ambition. Thank you very much. Have a nice day ahead. This is Mr. Eddie Singh on the channel Easy English, your own channel.